Today was a pretty chill day. Just want to make this vlog quick. There was a lot that happened this past weekend, but because of a few complications, I actually can't reveal whatever happened this past weekend anymore. So, if there was a post about it, I took it down. Whatever. Anyway. I don't feel like working out today. So I'm gonna make it another teaching vlog. One of the things that makes playing electric guitar with a lot of distortion, honestly, and I don't think a lot of people talk about this, is the technique of muting. And muting involves using a piece of flesh, usually your hands, and using that piece of flesh to make sure that an unwanted string, or a string that you don't want to make sound, does not make sound. So you use part of your hand or a part of a finger to make sure that an unwanted string does not start ringing and make sound while you're playing other notes. This is a really important technique when you're playing electric guitar, because when you're playing distorted electric guitar, your muting technique is paramount. I call playing with a lot of distortion, and this is just me, but I kind of joke around just today with my student. I joked about calling, like, playing with a lot of distortion, it's like taming a wild beast. And it's because distortion gets really wily and out of control if you don't know how to mute properly with your hand. It's just a super important trick. And the way you do muting with your hand, primarily with the right hand, sometimes with the left, but primarily with the right hand, is you use this part of your palm to mute primarily the three thickest strings, because they tend to really have a mind of their own when you're not muting them. They just make sound without you even wanting them to. And you put that part of your hand on the guitar while you're picking whatever you're picking. Yeah. So these don't make any sound while you're playing. And if you want them to make sound, then you take your hand off incrementally, whichever string you want to make sound. Yeah. So basically, the concept of muting is you lift your hand off whatever string that you want to use, and you put your hand over pretty much as many strings as you can when they're not being used. Whatever string is not being used, you put your hand over it. So the note that you want to pop comes out easily. There's a million things going on there than just the bend and the pick. So I bent the B string to move up to the E note, and I picked it. But I also raked, and I muted. This part happened right before I got to... That doesn't happen unless I was muting these strings with this hand. Very important thing to do when you're playing electric guitar is to mute. It's an all-important trick. Muting also comes with palm muting. Actually, they're pretty much the same thing, except in palm muting, you're picking the muted string. But it's the same thing. Your hand is here, and it's preventing the string from vibrating. But palm muting allows you to do the chug. That's what I call it. Because you're stopping part of the string here, and that only allows it to vibrate for a very, very short amount of time, as opposed to lifting your hand off and palm muting and just muting in general both require the right hand to be pretty much here. So if you're having a hard time trying to mute, just think of the way you palm mute and you might be okay. Anyway, that's my vlog for today. Rock on.